What's up, guys? This is Dino here, and today I'll be beginning a brand new story. This is something that I wanted to do because personally I have a lot of interest in mixed martial arts and I'm a huge UFC fan. So that's why this is something that I have always wanted to do. And finally, now that the Dragon Clan story is complete for now, and the Naruto story has three parts remaining, but I'm really burnt out from making that particular story, so I will finish those later this month. I mean, like later in February or somewhere around that time, because I really want to start with something fresh. Because it's a new year, we have new games, new resolutions, and all that stuff. So I feel like I will just give a pause to the Naruto story for now, and let's just focus on building some new stories. And we will squeeze those time between because from the podcast with Plus Ultraman, I realized how he also had a lot of stories in outstanding, but that doesn't stop him from beginning new stories. And I think that he said something about if he made one particular story continuously for many weeks in a row, it just reduces the creativity in that story and just makes you feel burnt out. And that's honestly something that I have been experiencing with the Naruto story because we had like back to back 7 parts of it. So let's just give it a rest and uh, let me just think of brand new ideas to make that particular tournament even more interesting. And in the meanwhile, you get a brand new story. So I think that's a win-win for everyone. And today we will be beginning What If Ash Was a Black Belt Part 1. So there's nothing to really introduce you to. This is just a version of Ash who is born in the dojo of Saffron City and will be trained in the aspects of mixed martial arts from his childhood. So this version will be a bit more physically strong, a lot more hardworking than the original version of Ash, and just an overall better version. Maybe not as creative as the original one because he has to have like a drive of discipline. And speaking of drive, he will definitely have more drive, a bit more grittiness than the original one, but just a little bit less out of the box thinking and a little less sense of adventure because he basically grew up in a dojo, so that's all the new. So without further ado, let's begin. Ash was 10 years old, living in the dojo of the Saffron City. As same as the other black belts, the most of his time involved around training, sleeping and eating, and also watching Pokemon battles. He aspired to be just as strong, if not stronger, than his big brother. Let's just call him uh, Reggie in this timeline. He just wanted to be as strong as his big brother Reggie, who was the champion of the fighting dojo and also the gym leader of the Saffron City. Ash was the prodigy in his year, as he performed better than almost every other junior black belts that they had. He even got his black belt at the young age of 7, which was a record in the dojo, as most black belts got their respective designations at the age of 9 or even 10. But Ash was exceptional at that point. He used to train all day and just watch the battles that his big brother had with the gym challengers. One fine day of training, as as they were engaging in a light sparring, they heard a knock at the door, followed by a black belt came up to his brother Reggie and told him that there was a challenger waiting for him. As Reggie went on to confront the challenger, this was revealed to be a young beautiful girl with an alakazam. Reggie asked her if she was here to challenge for the gym badge, and if she was, this will be a two-on-two battle. But the girl who introduced herself as Sabrina replies by saying that she's not here to challenge the gym badge. She is challenged for the gym badge. She is here to officially challenge for Reggie's post as the gym leader itself. Reggie asks her that what's this all about, and she replies by saying that she is the trainer of the hyper class, and she is here to challenge Reggie for the post of his gym leader as of Saffron City, as per the orders of the Pokemon League. As per the Pokemon League, the gym in the Saffron City has become really stagnant, and the success rate of trainers winning the gym badges at this gym is particularly high because of their one sidedness and overall lack of innovation in their training methods. So she is here to challenge him for his post, and in case he loses, she will officially become the gym leader of the Saffron City, and the gym will be shifted from the fighting type to a psychic type. Reggie, of course, not backing down from the challenge, accepts this battle, and Sabrina, to his surprise, allows him to use both his Hitmonchan and his Hitmonlee, both at the same time. As the battle begins, uh, Reggie orders both of his Pokemon to just blindly charge at Alakazam, using High Jump Kick and Mega Punch respectively. But to his surprise, Alakazam simply uses Psychic Attack to keep them at bay and bashes them against each other. This battle is quick and decisive, and as soon as it starts, Alakazam gains the victory in just a matter of seconds. Then walks in Lance, the champion of the Kanto region. He comes into the gym and announces that from now on, the official gym leader of the Saffron City will be Sabrina, and this dojo will officially lose its right to be the official gym. They may still keep it as some sort of a challenge for the young trainers, but they will lose the authority to give out gym badges, and the badge of the gym will be shifted from the knuckle badge to the badge of Sabrina's choice. Before they could leave, Ash runs up and confronts Sabrina, saying that she is not better than his brother, and she won only because of the type advantage that psychic types possess over fighting types, and that was a cowardly move. Sabrina simply looks at the young boy standing in front of her, and she replies by saying, "Look, kid, in life, you either adapt or you perish. That is evolution." And she simply departs. Ash, these words hit Ash straight in the heart and almost inscribe themselves into his mind. You either adapt or you perish. Over the next few days, many black belts at the gym start to train rigorously for their rematches, including Reggie. However, every time they challenge, seeing that they have no other options, all the higher up black belts decide that this is the time to use their secret weapon. For centuries, their ancestors in the dojo have preserved a special egg, which will which will only hatch when handed over to the true prodigy of the fighting type, and from this will emerge a Pokemon which is considered to be the strongest fighting type in existence. However, when Ash hears of this, he only thinks about the training regime that the dojo has. For years and years and years, the training style has remained the same stagnant, head forward, brute strength without any strategy. And then Sabrina's words ring to his ear once again. You either adapt or you perish. And Ash realizes that even if they are able to hatch this supposedly strongest fighting type, what good will it do if they trained it the same way that they do all the other Pokemon? Just brute strength. And the last time he saw, even after multiple challenges to Sabrina, she was effortlessly able to destroy all their best trainers. So what good will it do to train the new Pokemon in the same old ways? So he decides to give it a try. That night he sneaks into the secret hall and walks over to the egg. But as soon as he gets closer, the egg starts to glow and rise into the air. It then illuminates a huge amount of light, causing Ash to flee back into his room. Two black belts come running in, but when they do, they find the egg to be in the same position as it was previously. The next day, during his training, Ash asks his brother why don't they change their fighting style to counter Sabrina's psychic attacks. And Reggie replies him by saying that this is the method that they have been using for all this time, and it has worked so far. So there is no need to change it. They should always stick to what you should always stick to what you know. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. This somewhat pissed Ash off, as he said to Reggie that he's not feeling well, and he will just take a walk around the city. And Reggie allows it. In truth, Ash was just sick and tired of all the redundant training that he has been doing for all these years. At first, he was really happy to follow the footsteps of his brother and the dojo, but after watching them lose to Sabrina so badly, he had begun to have second thoughts about all this. What good will it do if he becomes the next strongest black belt of the dojo? Will he be able to defeat Sabrina? He doesn't think so, because they have been doing the same thing over and over again. And the definition of insanity is you do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. And they have been doing just that. As Ash was lost in his thoughts, he was approached by a strange man who introduced himself as Scott. Judging by Ash's attire, he deduced that he was from the fighting dojo and asked him how the training is going for their for yet another rematch against Sabrina. Ash asked him who the hell he is and why does he concern himself with the dojo. The man replies by saying that the dojo has some of the most insane amount of untapped potential in their young trainers, but due to the same rigorous program, they are unable to fulfill it. So he is just here to scour the area. And to his blind luck, he managed to run into the prodigy. Ash asks him how does he know about him, and Scott tells him that that's his job. He goes around to gather young strong trainers who may necessarily not have the resources to become stronger. He provides them the resources, and in return, when they do become strong, they have to do something for Scott. Ash suspiciously asks, "What is this something?" And Scott replies by saying that he's creating a team of the strongest trainers in the world, which will make up his own version of the gym challenge, which he will call the Battle Frontier. So far, he has only recruited one trainer, and Ash could be the second. Ash asks him that what's the guarantee that the trainers recruited by him turn out to be stronger? What if this is just a scam? And Scott tells him that he will prove it to him. He then calls someone in. This is a girl slightly older than Ash, about 11 and 12 years old. She introduces herself as Annabelle, and she offers to battle Ash to show him that this training that Scott provides actually works. Ash replies by saying that he does not have a Pokemon yet, so that won't work. Scott replies by saying that he will lend Ash one of his Pokemon, and to sweeten the pot, this will be a fighting type, one of the strongest fighting types of the Kanto region. So Ash should be good, and Ash accepts this. They then walk into his private home, where he has a battle stadium ready for them. He lends Ash his Machamp, which Ash sends out and is amazed by the sheer strength of the fighting type. And Annabelle sends out a Snorlax. Ash immediately recognizes this as a normal type, and he says that this will be an extremely easy battle. Scott tells him not to get cocky and just battle Annabelle and find out whether or not if this would be so easy. Once again, because Ash is trained in the same old style of the fighting dojo, he orders Machamp to charge forward and use Karate Chop. And although the Machamp is extremely well trained and has plethora of moves under its arsenal, it decides to humor the young trainer and follow its advice. Charging in recklessly only leads into its defeat, as Annabelle commands Snorlax to constantly use Curse and then rest to heal it up. And soon enough, the Machamp gets tired and is taken out by a powered up Body Slam. Ash is surprised as to how he could use despite having such a strong Pokemon in his arsenal, and Scott replies to him by saying that true strength is not the only way to win battles. You have to be crafty and be prepared for everything. The way the dojo is the way the dojo trains its fighters is by exposing them to the same style over and over again. The world is big, and so are the Pokemon. So if Ash truly wants to become stronger, he needs to go out of his comfort zone and explore himself. Ash asks him that what could he do now, and Scott replies by saying that he should go through the training program of the dojo, and once he's old enough to get his starter, they accept this deal for now. As he continues his training in the dojo, because he is the prodigy and he has so much of natural talent, He's able to progress fast. And on the day he turns 16, and by the day he turns 16, he has won many championships of the dojo. But one thing has remained the same. Throughout these 6 years, the black belts of the dojo have challenged and repeatedly lost to Sabrina, thus making this thus making this 6 whole years of them not being the official gym. On his 16th birthday, Ash walks around the Saffron City, and this time, not to his surprise, he meets Scott, who tells him that if he's finally ready to come along on his journey to be to truly become strong, and Ash replies to him by saying that he would need a Pokemon first. Scott once again offers to lend one of his Pokemon, but Ash declines this offer by saying that he has a better option. He has a better idea. He will meet Scott tomorrow, same time, and this time he will have a Pokemon with him. Scott agrees to this as Ash returns to the dojo. That day, he decides to once again approach the egg, and this time he will take it. As Ash approaches the egg this time, he knocks both of the guards assigned to protect the egg, and as he opens the black belt tied to the egg, it starts to glow before hatching into a strange looking Pokemon. Ash is then confronted by his older brother Reggie alongside his Hitmonchan. He identifies the Pokemon as the legendary Pokemon Kupfu and asks Ash how the hell did he manage to hatch it. Ash replies to him by saying he is that he just touched the egg and it hatched. Several years ago, when he was 10 years old, a similar incident took place, but the egg wasn't ready to hatch at that time, but now it was. He then went on to explain everything that he has experienced so far, and he presents to Reggie his own point of view about the training methods being stagnant and him wanting to make a change. Reggie is initially reluctant, but then allows Ash to follow his dream and tells him that he can do whatever he wants, and he believes in him. So with that, Ash is happy that the bridge to him and his dojo has not burnt completely. Although the other black belts disapprove of his decision to take the legendary Pokemon and train it in foreign methods, his brother supports him, and that's all he needs. He then meets Scott, and Scott offers to fly him to his personal training ground, where he trains all the potential trainers who will in future become his frontier brains. As Ash notices the airplane hired by Scott, he is initially terrified to fly on this weird looking thing. And the journey to Scott's battle tower is not at all comfy for Ash or Kaffu. As they arrive at the battle tower, both of them are extremely sick and start to vomit. But Scott tells them to calm down and just focus on their training for now. Once again, Annabelle walks up to Ash and she introduces him to the various facilities of the battle tower, and she says that this is where she has been training all this time and growing stronger. And so Ash's training begins. Initially, him and Kapfu are a little bit out of sync, but by Kapfu noticing Ash's extreme desire to succeed and his drive and hard work, he quickly accepts Ash to be his trainer. Again, I know this is like a really lazy way to build on a relationship between a trainer and his Pokemon, but I think Kapfu, being such a prideful and a martial arts oriented Pokemon, realizes Ash's drive and would naturally warm up to him. So let's continue with the story. Throughout 6 months, Ash trains in battles that are type disadvantages to him and his Kapfu, and he grows stronger and stronger. Battles flying, poison, and bug types. After each battle, Annabelle helps him monitor Kafu's EV and IVs, thus giving him a scientific edge which the dojo did not have. Ash grows significantly stronger, and one day he tells Scott that he is finally ready to challenge Sabrina. Scott knows very well that this won't go well, but instead of arguing with Ash, he decides to humor his request and send him to Saffron City, once again in the dreadful plane. On arriving at Saffron City, Ash immediately rushes off to to the gym to challenge Sabrina. Sabrina looks at Ash and recognizes him as being the same kid she met all those years ago. And she says that she actually foresaw Ash's coming here, and she would not like to disappoint him, but this is not the day that he will be beating her. And Ash tells her to shut it and just get on with the battle. He sends in curfew against her Alakazam, and to Sabrina's shock, this time instead of rushing, a black belt is actually using a strategy, as Ash orders Kafu to use Work Up, raising its offensive stats. He then orders Kafu to use an Ice Punch attack followed by a U-turn, both of which cause decent damage to Alakazam. But once again Alakazam proves to be much stronger, using a Psychic attack to defeat Kafu and Ash. As Ash walks out of the gym, he is once again confronted by Scott, and Scott tells him that now he finally realizes that 6 months of training won't cover the gap between him and Sabrina. Ash then asks him what is he supposed to do then, and Scott tells him that the best way a trainer can grow is by traveling around the region and challenging strong Pokemon trainers. And Ash replies to him by saying that he has no intention of taking the gym challenge, and Scott tells him that he does not need to. He then goes on to explain the ranking system of the Pokemon trainers by replying that Ash is currently at the normal class and Sabrina is at the ultra class. So all he needs to do in order to defeat Sabrina and become the gym leader of Saffron City is to rise up the rankings and defeat her. But he expects much more from Ash, and so Ash should always keep his goals higher than usual. If he aims for the moon, he just might end up at the stars. And Ash takes this saying to heart. And so his journey begins to not only defeat Sabrina but also to become the strongest trainer in the world. And that's where we'll be ending this part. Thank you for watching, guys. Sorry if it sounds a bit weird, but I promise you that the next parts will make a much more sense.